Hi, my name is Crystal Phillips. I am an educator in the state of Indiana. I have a license to teach elementary education as well as special education, and I am currently completing my master's degree in response to intervention. I am speaking to you here today on behalf of the children in the public education system in Indiana, particularly those children who are minority and lower SES backgrounds. So I want to thank you for allowing me to make this presentation to you here today. The fact is that Indiana's current means of educational fund appropriation is perpetuating some systemic inequalities in our literacy education, with the most negatively affected students being those who are minority or English language learners or are um, children from the lower socioeconomic background. According to research, the wealthiest 10% of our schools are spending 10 times as much as our lowest 10%, um, our poorest 10% of our schools. That research also shows that on all the tangible measures that we would compare those schools, um, that those wealthier schools are benefiting significantly. That includes having more qualified teachers, having better curriculums, and having a greater access to technology and resources. This this inequality that we're seeing from our higher SES background family school districts to our lower SES districts is further exacerbated by the fact that there are systemic inequalities um, from less educated teachers in those lower SES schools and because of their perceptions of students. So, according to research by Reedy and Chu, these teacher perceptions contribute to that further inequality with the lower SES and minority students by fulfilling a teacher prophecy. And we're seeing that in particularly around kindergarten, which is where Reedy and Chu's studies focused. What happened then was that label is being attached to these students, and the misidentification from teachers is they are overestimating the abilities of their higher SES students and females, and they are underestimating the abilities of their lower SES, minority, and male children. So, what we can do about that is we need to improve our teacher education, and we also need to make sure that these perceptions aren't affecting the grouping of our students, which in turn results in those self-fulfilling prophecies. When those students who have been grouped or identified as not as able as their peers, they are getting less access to stimulating conversation, more hands-on opportunities in learning, and that identity carries with them from grade to grade. And what they have found is that this is a self fulfilling prophecy for the students. I teach in a higher SES school, although with the consolidations that has occurred in several communities around us, our school demographics are rapidly changing. We are a school of privilege still, with more technology, more funding, and better qualified teachers. I teach students in grades 3 through 5, and I do see still these children coming in with this self fulfilled prophecy, especially what I'm seeing now is in our transfer students that we're getting from other districts. Several years ago, we had a young man, a little boy, he showed up in our school district, third grade, and his family came in tears, prepared to move him into our life skills non diploma track classroom. Um, Despite the fact that he was only in third grade and we're not looking at earning credits until high school, uh, the family had been convinced by prior school systems that his potential was not there. We approached his education with a clean slate and fresh eyes, from our administration to our special education department and his general education teachers in grades 3, 4, and 5. And all of them had a significant effect on his development, as well as the fact that we are a one-to-one school with access to technology, as well as the fact that we have some of the best curriculums that there are available today. I'm proud to say that with that better curriculum and those better trained teachers, that young man is now entering sixth grade, um, No one underestimated his ability. We gave him an opportunity to shine and do everything that his peers were doing. He entered sixth grade now with a third grade reading level, still significantly below his peers. Fifth grade math level, very close to his peers, and an amazing seventh grade language arts level. And we still have several years before we have to start worrying about those earning those credits. But what we have done is we have made sure that we have changed that child's mindset and what his identity was, as well as the mindset of his family and the mindset of his educators. So the fact is, Indiana cannot afford to have its children not receive equal opportunities in education. And the only way that that can occur is with the equitable school funding across all the state. The current method of this fund appropriation is largely at fault for the systemic inequalities that we have in education. So, as Indiana educators and legislators, we have a responsibility to make sure that all money is appropriated to schools equitably and to make sure that all teachers have the opportunity to be trained effectively. And we're going to have to make that our priority. We're going to have to rethink some of the things that we are currently doing. So I want to thank you for allowing me to speak to you today.